Pakistan Volleyball Training Camp is currently underway at the Liaquat Gymnasium of Sports Complex, catering to the both men's and women's national team. Led by head coaches Ruben and Alessandra respectively, the camp aims to prepare both teams for the challenges of the upcoming international tournaments. The camp has brought together some of the most talented volleyball players from across the country, all determined to showcase their skills on the international stage. Both teams analyzes opponent strengths and weaknesses to develop effective game strategies tailored to their respective playing styles. Pakistan Volleyball Training Camp is a testament to the dedication and passion of the players and coaching staff. Through hard work, discipline, and teamwork, they are striving to elevate the standard of volleyball in Pakistan and bring glory to the nation in the upcoming Commonwealth and South Asian Games.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a very special and exclusive edition of Sports Extra. I'm here at the Liaquat Gymnasium at the Sports Complex in Islamabad, and we're here to talk about something very specific. Volleyball in Pakistan has been gaining a lot of attention lately as well. We've got the talent, we've been producing some results as well, but I think it's always good to know where things stand, how the training process is being held. You talk about preparation for the tournament. We've got two big tournaments coming up as well. So I think it's always good to talk to the experts that are involved as well. And we're very honored this time to be joined on the show by somebody who has been appointed recently as the coach of Pakistan's men's volleyball team as well. He hails from Argentina. He's recently joined as well. He's been involved in training. But we're very, very honored that he's taken out time to talk about all of this. Joining us is the coach for the Pakistan men's volleyball team, Mr. Ruben Wolrd. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Alaikum salam. Thank you for having me today.
Great. Thank you very much for being on the show, first of all. Like I said that, a lot of attention is there now. So
Yes.
First of all, I must ask you, because like we were just discussing that it's been 2 weeks since you're here.
Yeah.
So once the first phone call came for the opportunity to take up the task, what was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, I know the team since Konya Islamic Games in 2022, and I was really impressed of the level of the players, the physicality of the players, and I really was impressed about the talent of Pakistani players. Lately, we've been playing together last summer against each other. I was coaching Bahrain. And first of all, I need to say that the job of my previous coach, Sanaye, was fantastic, was very well. That I'm getting a team which got the mentality to know how to win games. And from now on, I have the duty to improve this standard and make one step over.
Certainly, and I think, we've got a bit of sporting rivalry. When Sanae was hailing from Brazil, Ruben is here from Argentina. So, we've got all sorts of South American cultures blending here as well. Now, obviously, your previous, responsibilities have been with Bahrain, you've been with Morocco as well, and you've seen, different dynamics as well. You're probably aware of Pakistan's standard of volleyball that they're playing initially. How would you rate them? Because obviously right now we're seeing an evolution in all sports, especially volleyball. But when you talk about this current Pakistan team, how have you seen them adjusting to the international standard?
I think the team, as I said before, has the physical capacity. Players are very athletic, very dynamic, with good jump height. And I think when we could develop a little bit a faster game, we can, or I would say my next weeks will be targeting kind of fasten the pace of the game, keep improving service because it's the key to open the game. Because in general, I think the possibility of the setters to play and so it's pretty good, and it's time just to work and start developing a new system perhaps.
Well, interestingly, I was watching you during training as well, because you mentioned about the building up pace. After each service, you weren't letting them settle down, so you wanted the ball very quickly.
Yes.
So I understand that you need to build up to there as well. But obviously, results do matter at the same time. But what we need to understand in our part of the world, that it needs to be a very consistent process.
Yes.
So results won't come overnight.
No. Coming back to this question, which is a very good question, I really believe that Federation, I really wish and I hope that we can start a mid-long-term process, because Pakistan in general I would say it's a pretty sportive country with a long story of really good level hockey, cricket, team sports. And now volleyball has the possibility. It's a huge country where we can find a lot of talent. And of course, we would need sponsors, organization that we can support this long-term process to become a really powerhouse in, first of all in Asia, to aim to play at the worldwide level. I have no doubts that the team and the country has the possibility. We need to sit down, organize, and execute, because this is the
it's
big
very
point.
interesting because a lot of countries, and probably you've worked with them as well, have a lot better infrastructure support when you talk about volleyball. Pakistan has a bit of lack of resources, but I think the silver lining or the positive thing to note is that even despite those challenges, players are really, really talented and they're very hardworking as well.
Yes, yeah, I agree, but I would like to address one thing. You know, I'm coming from Argentina. The Olympic Center in Argentina doesn't have this stadium. Our national team that got 2 times bronze medal at the Olympics never practiced in such a venue. The venue where our national team trains is not as good as this one. The hostel is the same quality. So there are no, if we would like to see the negative things, we will find. But I believe what is very interesting here is that players are really eager to learn and progress, and we have the possibility for that. So I would like only to see the positive sides and work on the weaknesses to improve, but not make any kind of excuse that doesn't allow us to improve.
To not go further. And
Yes.
I think that's a great mindset as well. That instead of worrying about certain things that drag you down, always look towards the positive.
exactly.
Not only in sports, but I think they teach you a very good lesson in life as well.
Yes,
To
yes.
only focus on the positives.
Yeah.
Another very important aspect is that everywhere around the world now people talk about that you need to invest in your grassroots levels with the younger lot,
Yes.
and then improve further as well.
Yes.
I'm sure that once you go around different parts of Pakistan,
Yes.
you'll see that volleyball is a very, very popular sport.
Exactly.
Every corner, people would be having a net and playing volleyball.
Yes.
So that's one positive side.
Yes.
But when it comes to investing at the younger level, the school levels, the college levels, how, do you see that? What kind of approach do we have there?
Well, I don't know almost nothing about Pakistan grassroots. I can tell from my experience working in Argentina, from grassroots to high level, high performance in first division, in the first league. Then working in Spain, in Finland, in Germany, and every country which is well-established country has almost full-time programs in each age. And once again, Pakistan has the population. We need the organization. And once again, it's not only about the resources. When we use smart, when we use cleverly the resources, I believe we can find ways and we can find little by little, step by step, the way to improve. But I fully agree, we need kind of development program.
Structure as well.
Yes.
Obviously, they always say that a strong man uses all his resources to his advantage. So I
Yes.
understand that as well. Coming to some of the challenges that you see right now in this team, like you mentioned that you want to work on service. That is one aspect of it. What other aspects are you looking to work on which you see that need immediate focus with this team right now?
I think we need to work on the organization of the team in general, because in these first 3 weeks preparation before Kava League, it happens the change of the coach, a different kind of playing philosophy, and we need the time. Anyway, we are going every day on dripping, let's say, a little bit more and more about the playing system. But we need to use this Kava League, which is extremely important for us, but we shouldn't hide the jungle with one finger and look forward to the main competition as a Challenge Cup, because it takes points for the FIBB, which is important to climb at the FIBB World Ranking. And then I think that, as I said, we need to work, generally speaking, into the system of the game, which is a little bit more specific with the players. You know, service, how we play the side out, how we play the break point. But players are really eager to learn and very motivated.
A good bunch of students. They were really following your instructions.
The guys are really eager to learn and to improve. And this is wonderful.
So two major tournaments are coming up.
Yes.
One immediately in the month of May, and then obviously you're focusing more on the bigger tournament that comes later on as well. How is the preparation schedule for that?
Yeah, we have now still 2 more weeks to the Cava League. I really wish that we can invite people to make this house full. I really wish that when we make the full house, we can get also sponsors, because I believe volleyball has draw the attention, and we have players like Murad Khan, who is playing as a top player in the Korean league, which is one of the best in the world. Players like Usman, who has been outstanding level at the Iranian league. Amal Khan, who always also play a lot internationally. And I believe that the schedule will be little by little practice and playing more among us, because we don't have preparation games for such a tournament. But I'm in discussions. We need to discuss also with the federation. We can organize few preparation games before the AVC Challenge Cup in Bahrain, here, or even going a little bit earlier. But tomorrow I will meet the Mr. President, and hopefully we can draw a kind of
settle some things as well.
Exactly.
Important meeting coming up. So,
Yes.
But how important is the exposure of these players internationally as well? Because like you mentioned, some of our players are also involved in international leagues.
Yes.
And in Pakistan lately, it has become a trend to, where players are on their own sometimes focusing on playing some leagues to gain international exposure.
Yes, I think that there is a two ways development. First of all, we need to bring the exposure of the national team into as many FIBB or official competitions possible, but also we should be able to organize 25 to 35, 40 international matches every summer, where the players can compete with the best teams in the world. Because, once again, coming back to my country, Argentina is not a country with a lot of physical players. However, we play good volleyball. And playing good volleyball comes out of a lot of exposure from youth, juniors, and senior
The top
ages.
levels.
Exactly. But any players, or every of these players who are nowadays playing high level, are playing since really young at the international level a lot of games. And this gives the know-how what you need to do to prepare yourself to be ready for such an opponent. You know?
Well, that's very interesting, because obviously, like I said, that like you mentioned, that a large number of games required each season is one prospect.
Yes.
But obviously, at the same time, if you don't have international competitions, let's
Yes.
say, another way you can proceed is probably inviting international teams, you
Yes.
know, for certain bilateral tournaments as well.
Exactly. But once you compete internationally with the national team, especially for countries like Pakistan, which are, let's say, on a development way, then we will drag the attention of professional leagues who are eager to get potential players, talented players, that we have many. So once the players finish the international season with national team, the target should be bringing the possibility for the players to go abroad and play at the good level leagues in Europe. So once this happens, we will make rounded up this circle, and then I believe we can be really powerful national team. Yeah.
And interestingly, you know, the fans make up for the most important part of the sport as well.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, that if we do get a house full in a couple of weeks of time, that would be not only, I think, good for the sport, but even for these players as well, who will feel very encouraged to have that support as well.
Yeah, you know, players are well known. A lot of players have a lot of followers on the social media, and then, you know, the Pakistani Federation as well suddenly will start to be able to manage potential superstars, which are also interesting to empower younger kids to play and being role models, which creates rights and obligations for the players to be prepared, to keep working hard, to get to the next level. Yeah.
And obviously there comes a corporate social responsibility as well.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you mentioned that it's very important for us to market our brand so we
Yes.
can invite sponsors as well.
Exactly.
That's very important.
And I think in these regards, our players are very responsible. They are having a really good working ethic, and this is very interesting because we are in this specific topic. We are world class. The players are really serious. They are really giving all what they have every day. Yes.
Interestingly, finally, I must ask you that because you just mentioned in 2 weeks of time we want to have a house full over
Yes.
here. So, is there any message you'd like to give to the people out there in Pakistan,
Well-
whether you can invite them to come and support their play?
Well, of course, I'm new, but I would like to invite Pakistani volleyball fans and no fans, young kids to come and watch our game, watch our team, because we never promise that we will win all the games, but what we can promise that we will give all what we have. And by giving all what we have, I'm sure that in this process we will start building a lot of potentially successful results.
Definitely. Well,
Yes.
Senor Ruben, muchas gracias.
A usted.
Thank you very much for joining us and for a lovely time. And I'm sure that we have our best wishes for you and the
Thank you
Pakistan
very
team as
much.
well.
Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in few weeks here, making this wonderful house full. Yeah. Thank you.
Interestingly, well, you've heard from the man himself as well. Ruben is here to definitely help the sport grow in Pakistan as well. But a very important message to all you people out there as well. We, of course, would let you know of the exact dates as well. But if you can come to the Liaquat Gymnasium at the sports complex in Islamabad, come here, watch the sport yourself, bring your children, bring your friends and family, and you'll certainly find that there is spectacular talent up for offer here as well. Well, of course, we've got more to come. Stay tuned to Sports. Right, welcome back. And of course, before the break, you heard from the men's national volleyball coach as well. And now we move on to the women's side as well, which has got the equal talent, equal opportunities up for grabs. And I think a great domain when it comes to the women's side of volleyball in Pakistan as well. And we're very honored to be joined now by the women's national volleyball coach for Pakistan, Alessandra Campedelli. Hello, how are you, ma'am?
Hello everyone. I'm fine, thank you, and I'm very happy to come in Pakistan to help the women volleyball to grow up and improve. Yes, we need to do a lot of work because women start from a lower level because of I think they don't start to play volleyball too much early. They start late in the age, so they are not young, but. I told the federation that, in my opinion, if they try to start from the school, if they try to start from the 11, 13, 12 years old, they can improve a lot.
Well, because you have that international exposure as well, and like you talked about that in Pakistan, there is a bit of lack of infrastructure for women as well because they're starting very late in volleyball. So what's the first challenge that you see with these bunch of girls that you immediately want to work on?
So I'm trying to organize one travel in Italy to have 4, 5, maybe 6 friendly match in Italy because we need to train, but to train to because we have a dream. We have a dream to go and play, not only to train, and we need to see our level. So we need to play, and then to understand at which point we are now. And what we have to do to improve, because only by training here we cannot know what we need to do. So the first thing is I'm trying to organize one travel in Italy. I find all the sponsors now. We have to only to manage it, but I think that at the end, yes. I think that at the end of May, we can be for 3 weeks in Italy.
Well, it's very important because you need that international exposure, like you said. So you can train all day long, but what people need to understand that these girls need to play competitive volleyball to progress.
Absolutely. We need to do it. If no, it will be difficult to build something, you know, because even for the young people, young women, the young child, the young girls who want to play, they need to see that there is a national team who can give a good result. So we can, well, I think that this player can improve. We need only to improve in all the Pakistan, not only in this team, you know. So first, starting from the school. Second thing, important thing, and is starting from the teaching of the coach, because we need to have more coach who can train the women, because it's not the same to train the women or the men. So with federation we are trying to do it, and with Empower, because Empower...
The professional side of it is talked very less around the world. What people, like you said, that empowering and training local coaches is very important, because eventually it will be like a trickle down effect that goes throughout the country as well. So how important, because like you mentioned that the first place is school, and to do that I think you would agree that the first thing that you need to do is inspire young girls to take up volleyball.
Sure.
How important does that be?
It's the first thing to do if we want to improve in women volleyball. You know, if we start from the young child, the young girls, we have the time to improve not only technique, not only the body, the physical training, but even in the health of mental health, because we need to be some athletic in our mind, and they need to learn it. But you can learn it from the child, not from...
Well, physical training is one part of the picture.
Yeah.
The real strength is the mental strength that we need to work on.
Yeah.
And obviously these girls come from different backgrounds, different stories altogether.
Sure.
How important is it to give them that emotional support and mental strength as well?
I think it's very important. I'm trying now to understand each of them, because, you know, it's difficult for me to come from outside and know the culture, because each of these players have a different culture, because they come from different contexts, so it's not the same. But I think that if Federation believe in it, with Empower we can improve a lot.
Certainly. And of course, like you mentioned that you are in the process of taking them to Italy for international exposure. Once they start participating in competitions, obviously they would start getting better. But unfortunately, a lot of people are too much concerned about the results. And I always talk about the fact that you need to believe in a long-term process.
Sure.
And sometimes not worry about the results. How would you elaborate?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely agree with it. So I told to Federation, we don't go to win at first. We need to go to make experience, to have experience, to know different way of training, to know different way to be an athlete in the mind. Because if they know abroad, if they know someone who can do better than them, they can have them as model. They can, you know, they can have a dream to reach. And this is important. I think it's very, very important.
Well. Obviously, I think the process starts now with once you're here as well. And you'll find that eventually it's a very popular sport in Pakistan, volleyball, and hopefully we can transfer it to the girls as well. But you know, as an experienced coach yourself as well, what message would you like to give to the parents out there who can definitely play a big role in supporting their young girls to take up volleyball?
You know, if one child can practice one team sports as volleyball, can learn a lot of things that can be used in the life then. So it's very, very important, because they can learn to be a team, how to be a team, how they can work together. They can work to how to be a good, to be practiced in a good way. So with you have to be patient, but you have to be motivated, but you have to use all your force, your attempt to do it. So it's very, very important.
And around the world now, you know, men's sport is now being treated as equal to women's sport as well. So there's no longer that difference. That means that they need to be equally fit physically and cope up with the pace of volleyball internationally as well.
I think so, but in this moment I think there is not real equality now. But we are trying to do it. But we need to the help of a lot of persons, you know, because now women have to believe in themselves, have to try to go abroad to play, have to try to be, they need to have the attention of, as in the same way as the men. Now it's not like this.
But Alessandra, how important is it to develop role models and superstars as well? Because eventually young girls out there would be looking at some of these players, they would remember them by name and thinking that I want to be the next this lady as well.
I would like that this player can do it, yes. And I think that this travel in Italy will be very, very important for this. You know, we are practics because we have a dream. We want to have a good competition in the South Asian game that will be in Pakistan in 2025 in February. So it will be a very important competition for us.
So very less time remaining there as well is to prepare.
Yeah, and so we are trying to make ready the team about it, but not only to make ready the team about it, to build something for the future. You know, in that team there are a lot of young players, young for Pakistan, not young for the international volleyball, because international volleyball, one player, 18 player, 17 year old or like this is not young, is
Almost an experienced player.
yeah, yeah. Now no, so we have to build step by step and to be patient.
Well, certainly, but I'm sure that the process is right, and taking them to
It's started,
yes, I'm sure that that is a great positive development for these girls as well. And grazie, Alessandra. So thank you very much for joining
Shukriya.
us. Shukriya. And we hope that you know you're able to achieve what you want, and we have all the best wishes for you and these girls.
I hope that even in Pakistan a lot of sponsors can think about us because we need of it.
Absolutely, corporate social responsibility. But grazie, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But like we've always said that corporate social responsibility is the most important part of any sport in the world. And as you've heard from Alessandra as well, you also heard from Ruben that all the corporate entities out there who can come out in sponsorship and support of the men's and women's volleyball teams, I think they should really step forward, because at the end of the day, it's a national cause for Pakistan, and we are expecting results in this domain as well. And at the same time, I think for the future development of the game as well, it's very important that corporate entities come up and take infrastructure development in Pakistan as well, in various domains, at grassroots levels, at academies, anything that you can think of will surely help the sport as well. On that note, that's all we have time for this very special edition. We of course bring you all the exclusive content, but I think with best wishes for both the men's and women's volleyball team as well, because we found some fantastic bunch of players, and equally we have found some very lovely coaches in the both men's and women's domain as well, and we hope for some certain improvements when it comes to the game. That wraps it up for me and my entire team. It's goodbye for now.